Good morning. Matt Peoples, Area Business Manager for West Texas, New Mexico, and a portion of Oklahoma. So we're here. We've got Cory Thompson here, our technical agronomist. Cory's going to cover all the technical stuff because I do not have a PhD and don't understand all the bar graphs and line graphs and all the fancy stuff they put up here. So I'm just going to run through a couple of things real quick, kind of lay out for you. Thought I'd share with you first just a map of the geography that this team covers here for this market, and the sales reps that cover each one of these territories. So I've got Doug Fairbanks is back here in the back, another one of our sales reps. So you can see here we've got 7 sales reps. The other map that I do not have is what's called a CBA, a customer business advisor. So I got 3 of those, and really what their job is to go more interaction with the growers, be kind of an agronomist on the farm for them, provide services, provide information, and really just help them out with troubleshooting issues on their farm, really an extension of Cory and his team there. So quick map of my team and some of the recent changes we've had. And really wanted to start off here by saying, for those of you in the room that plant Delta Pine, and I have in the past, I appreciate what you do and your support of our business. Last year, in 2023, this is just a map of the U.S. where we had different regions on our team. The green is obviously areas where we grew share. The red, we lost. Orange, we kind of stayed flat. Just kind of put it in perspective, looking far west, while we dropped off big share there, we exited the Pima business last year. That's where a lot of our Pima business was driven out in that California far west market. So within this region here, we saw about a 19% share growth last year, putting us around, end of the year, around 46% market share. So really speaks to, I think, where we've come with our germplasm, with our breeding, and just some of the different things that we bring and have brought to the market since 2018, 2017. So a lot of good information that Cory will share with you. And I just want to highlight a couple of things here real quick. Crop risk programs. It's going to be hard to read for y'all in the back, but replant will stay the same this year. Okay, it'll be 70% off. If you switch crops, go from cotton to sorghum, cotton to corn, it'll be 70% off of that first bag planted. So you get your 70% off your cotton seed, or corn if you start with corn, whatever it is, 70% off. If you stay with the same crop, you get 70% off of the replanted bag, so the second bag, okay? A little confusing there, but it's 70% off on a replant. Whoop. All right, one of the big things for us, and I think all seed companies, is how do we partner with y'all? How do we share in the risk, and how do we show up as a partner on your farm? We will continue to have we move into one program this year. It'll be a shared risk program, okay? In the past, you've seen drought, you've seen crop loss, you've seen all this complexity, trying to make this simple as we can, okay? So now what we have here is just one program. You buy the seed, okay, and whatever you buy, if you don't harvest that crop, cotton crop, for whatever reason, whatever you pay minus $210 is what you're out of pocket, okay? So in the past, where you had a $300 bag of seed, right, and you're, minus the $210, you would pay $90 out of pocket. If you get a $500 bag of seed minus the $210, you'd be $290 out of pocket, okay? So that's what the shared risk program will look like this year, just kind of making it simplification. SRP minus $210 a bag is what you pay, okay? And then the deadline, one of the big changes here with the deadline date here for this zone and this market will be an October 15th date. So we feel like all insurance and adjusters have walked the fields. If they haven't, then we'll work with you on that. But we're trying to get October 15th as a hard, fast date to get all programs submitted there, okay? I can't figure this thing out. I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to hand it off to Cory.
Thanks, Matt. So like Matt mentioned, I'm technical agronomist for Delta Pine. I live in Abernathy, really cover that Plainview South market, southwest Oklahoma and portion of New Mexico. Wanted to just kind of talk about now I'm doing the same thing. Just talk about the overall year, kind of what we saw this year. Early May, man, we had some good rainfall. Had some excellent stands. We got into June, rain kind of diminished and heat rose. So what I found interesting, with a lot of that May rainfall, cotton was pushed back. I mean, I would say, end of May, first part of June, kind of average planting date, which put us blooming that end of July time frame. You look at 15-year historical average, that black bar up on the screen, compared to, I wanted to compare it to, well, that's 2011. Green bar is the 15-year average. I wanted to compare this year to 2011, just being some similarities there where 2011, we experienced that heat early. This year, I mean, we took the blunt of it once we got out there into first bloom, full bloom. You can look at the rainfall in July and August. Some of those bigger crops that we typically make are when we have, good rainfall in July and into August, and it just wasn't there this year. I think, out of all the plots that I had, probably planted 12, 15, somewhere around there, dryland plots, and we harvested 2. And then yields on that were around half a bale. Looking at this, going into harvest, I really anticipated, that's going to be really hard to see. I really anticipated seeing shorter staple, higher mic, just with those temperatures. Micronair, you're looking at 60% of that being made up by the environment. So how the environment impacts your fiber fineness, that maturity, and that's really temperature. It's up there. You're setting day 15 to 45 at your that flower pollinates. Temperature, highly dries micronair. And, you look at your fiber length, like I said, I really expected to see shorter fibers. And that's because temperature and potassium have such a large impact on that. And like I said, that was occurring in that late July, August time frame when those temperatures, go back to here, these were, it says average daily temperatures. That was actually maximum daily temperatures going in there. No, that's average daily because we had 46 days over 100 degrees this year, 48 in 2011. Looking at overall temps, we had 15 days over 105. I think 15-year average is like 3 or 4 days a year. And 2011, we were sitting at 8. So just excessive temperatures. But what I'm wanting to say is overall quality has been very good. This was the classroom report as of the 16th. We've had almost 93% in that base to premium range, with 2/3 of that falling 35 to 37. So good staple, 64% base in micronair with almost 20% premium. So overall quality has been good. And you look at the strength, and that comes out to like 99.2% that's base to premium. So overall, really, really good quality. And this one's hard to see too. But this is just a classing report from a local gin. We just wanted to show, like Delta Pine 1822, excellent quality. You're looking at, I believe this was a little over 2,000 bales ginned, average 55 cents in the loan. I've gotten numerous text messages from growers in that Hale, Floyd County area that average 57, 58 cents across the farm. Same thing here. This is just south of Lubbock, 1822 and 1820, both averaging 55, 56 cents in the loan, to almost 3,000 bales and 1,000 bales. So we've got some products that in a tough year are really holding their quality. And this was a slide I put together first of this year, just really showing the quality over different yielding environments versus some competition. So, we got our dry tough products. Those products are products bred for that low input acre, dryland acre, And I mean, over, I don't think it's up there now, but 53 cents in the loan on some of that. That's probably 500, 600 pound average cotton. Same on that moderate acre, looking at around 1,000 to 1,200 pound cotton, just good quality. Variety placement. These are 6 varieties I feel like that are going to be some big hitters for us. I mean, 1646 didn't go anywhere. It still has its fit. 1820 is a racehorse product. Really like this one on your premium, highly productive acres. 1822 is just an all-around product. Dry land, good water. 2123 is one of the dry tough products that I feel like it's got a really good fit on that dry land to probably around 2 gallon a minute water. 2239 was new last year. I really like this one. Some dry land acres. It's another one that really holds its quality well. I would put 2239 up against 1646 in quality and in yield. And then 2335 was a new launch for us this year. Got this one out in quite a few plots. I really like this one. Not going to end up with any dry land data of it, but on some lighter, tougher acres, that one really held well. And some highly productive acres. I'm anxious. I got a phone call last week. Guy, I'm trying to remember exactly what his numbers were, but it's going to end up pushing that 5 bale. So I'm anxious to get the gen recaps on that one. That one was just right south of Lubbock and some really, really good water. And apologize for the small font there. I thought we'd be able to see that. But I just wanted to touch on some of our Thrive-Ons. And getting up here in the Panhandle, we feel like the Thrive-On technology is really going to play a big part. We got some earlier maturing varieties in there, 2211, 2317. I think 2328 will even have a fit. We had 4 or 5 of these Thrive-On plots out with some consultants this year, just really letting them get their hands on the technology, understand some of the benefits and limitations. Most of these were planted late, so we didn't get any thrips pressure. And we had quite a few thrips early. We got into that mid-May, got a little rainfall, and that's pretty good thrips control. So didn't get any thrips pressure. But what we did see from these Thrive-Ons is we were setting fruit 1 to 2 nodes earlier. So 1820 typically sets its first fruiting branch in about node 7. 2211, 2317 were about node 5. So that's just going to help speed up maturity. One thing that we really did find on the 2211 is the responsiveness to PGRs. So if you're going out at pinhead square with a shot of Mepiquat, and this one's already probably 2/3 full-grown square, I mean, it took the blunt of it. So we had some higher rates of Mepiquat. I think I actually put out 3 ounces at pinhead square, followed by 4 at 10 days later. And with that stance application, it took a pretty good hit. So that's just going to be a caution with a few of these early Thrive-Ons that we're going to be cautious on our Mepiquat applications. Maybe a little bit lighter dose. And so we're setting fruit earlier. It's using those resources earlier. We're not going to have to be as aggressive. But main point of this slide, other than that, was these Thrive-Ons are competing with 1820. I think this one, 2131, mid-season product, won this plot, excellent quality, 57-cent loan, looks like a 36 staple. This one here, 2328, and 1820 was third. So, I mean, they're competing with some of our high-yielding products. I think with that, take any questions. Well, we'll be around over at the booth for a while, and appreciate it, guys.
So just to wrap up here, one point of clarification. I think I misspoke on the shared risk program. Instead of $300 minus $210 is what you pay. When you look at it, it should be that's what you're reimbursed. So if you buy a $500 bag of seed minus $210, you get $290 back. Okay, so $300, $210 off, you get $90 back. So what that's going to do, really some of the reasoning behind that is in the past. It's just been what's on a dry year, going into the dry year, kind of no hope, no optimism. It's let's plant the cheapest thing out there that we can find. If it fails, we're not out of a lot of money. Now, by positioning this program the way we have, it's put the best product that's going to fit that acre. Let's plan for success. Higher dollar products are going to get you more money back in the end than a lower dollar product. So wanted to just to clarify that for you. That's something that we've tried to get some alignment across the industry, and I think looking at the programs, I think it should be set up pretty nice to make sure the best products are getting on those acres. So just want to wrap it up here and say thanks again for everybody. Stephen, thanks for the opportunity to get up here and present to this group. Just say, hey, we've got our NPE Summit coming up in the first weekend of December. Got a really strong pipeline of products, hoping to launch 4 to 6 new products coming out of that pipeline. This year, you're going to see a lot of Thrive On focus in that pipeline with some bacterial blight resistance. You got some Reniform in there. But if you look at the future pipelines coming, we're still investing in Bolgard 3 XtendFlex products. We still have XtendFlex only products in the pipeline. Really a big emphasis on big seed, vigor, emergence, and the disease packages within those classes that are coming down the pipeline. So a lot of good looking stuff coming down the pipe. So stay tuned and appreciate y'all's business. Go ahead, question.
Will your dry tough program still be the same?
Yeah, so program, the program for Delta.
The dry tough program, the 1822.
Yeah, absolutely. So your shared risk program that I mentioned will be the same for any variety, dry tough or Delta Pine.
But your pricing per bag on those, on the 1822, those others that were really for dry land.
Yeah. So that they will still be priced when you look at dry tough versus Delta Pine. The way those products are segmented into that portfolio are, if you were to put a dry tough product on a premium acre and put it up against an 1820, a 1646, that 1820 is going to beat it. But if you put it on a dry land acre or a tougher acre, 1646, 1820 versus 1822, there's really no advantage, right? So what we breed for that dry tough program for big seed, that emergence, and then absolutely the price point on a dry land acre, we recognize that the inputs are much lower on a dry land acre than they are on an irrigated acre. So that cost is there. What you will see within dry tough is you start looking at, as Cory was mentioned, 2335, that product where we got some areas where it did put 5 bales out there. That product, we're putting products into dry tough based on characteristics of the seed and their qualities, right? So you're going to start to see products that are going to range up there in yield within dry tough based on those characteristics of the product. So within dry tough and within Delta Pine, we have price segmentation based on performance. So you might see in the years of old, right, it was everything's under $300 within dry tough. As inflation's hit, you're going to see those $300 lift a little bit, but you're going to see more separation, like with a 2335 versus an 1822 or a 2123, for sure. All right. Well, we'll be in the booth if anybody has any other questions. Thanks again.